Hey y'all, it's Charity and I'm back with a tutorial just in time for graduation season. I know you've probably seen these roses with in memory of, things of that nature, but with 2022 and congratulations, it is for sure going to be a bestseller for graduation season. Now I got these blanks from Pretti-Gurl Tees and More Vinyl Shop. They're located here in Fort Worth, Texas. I will leave the address so that you can check them out. She has so much good things related to crafts. So not only sublimation, but your typical, like the name says, vinyl projects and more. So what you see here is pretty much me just trying to release this rose from its packaging. And I kind of did a little wiggle just to let you know. And I was also warned that this is a little fragile. And it's not super fragile, but if you're like heavy-handed like me, you really need to handle it with a little bit of care. So this is just how I measure. So right here, I'm going to take this inner part is my 0. So it's pretty much 14 inches total. I'm going to do it again from here. Maybe a little easier to see. So realistically, it's really 13 and a half. But I'm going to give my box about 14. The area where the rose is, though, here, I'm going to go... I'm going to go... 3... I don't want my rose to start here. This will be where you kind of decide how you want your design to go. Like right here, do you want to start some, like, do you want the greenery to include your probably face or what have you? Or do you want, you know, so for me, I'm probably going to do half and half. So I'll probably go about 3 and a half. 3 point, yeah, I'm gonna go 3.25. I don't know if you could tell, this is 3 and a half right here, and that's kind of close to where I want to be with this. So I'm gonna give it, yeah, 3.25. So I'm gonna write that down exactly how I want it, you know, to play out. So I'm gonna go rose pick. It's going to go to 3.25. The full distance, what I said was 14. Okay, so got those measurements. Okay, y'all, so at this point, I'm trying to show you the flexibility of it. I was calling it fragile because I was kind of told to handle it like so. But, you know, use your own discretion. If you're heavy-handed like me, you most definitely need to handle it with a little bit of care, because even taking off the tape, that could have been deadly for me in this little rose. There is a film on here, and I spend way too much time trying to get you guys to see the film on here, but pretty much the brown spots will notify you that, hey, there's a film. In worst case scenario, and you don't remove the film, you should probably be able to still, you know, have a successful press. But I mean, it's made to remove the film, although a lot of times if you press with the film on, it'll still turn out fine. But you know, sometimes you just need to follow the rules as written, and for that reason, I removed the film first here. And again, like I said, I'm spending way too much time trying to make you see the film. Just know there's a film and remove it. Okay, y'all, so I did record myself, like a screen recording of how I created the, I guess you would call it a template, But I also provided the measurements during the measure section of this. So if it's needed, I can upload it, although it kind of feels self-explanatory if you want to see my brain process. I just didn't want to keep y'all here too long on something that's kind of like, you know, basic. But if it will help somebody, I can definitely upload exactly how I created this, because it pretty much was perfect. Not gonna lie, it was perfect. So yeah, right here I'm just positioning things the way I wanted to. And as you see, again, lines up pretty perfect. You're gonna tape in a couple of spots. I'm only doing 3 spots because, you know, a whole lot of tape is not necessary really. And of course, top, bottom, and a little piece in the middle, that works. So I've also adjusted my heat press. I have taken some pressure off, so I would be sure not to break it. I probably could have tried to use it with my original pressure, but just to be safe, and this is a one take kind of thing, I didn't want to mess it up. So I have my parchment paper at the bottom. These are just some little pop-off sheets that I found at Dollar $1.25 Tree. And so I'm covering that top and bottom. Another thing, my heat settings are, I think 426 for about, I think 120, something like that, which is about 2 minutes. But the biggest thing in all of this, y'all, is y'all have to use your own judgment and deciding how your machine really operates. My machine doesn't do well at 400, so I have to adjust. That's something that is a little bit of business ownership, you know, figuring out your machine. But let's come on in, because here's the big reveal. Also, y'all, so I'm carefully removing it. I'm flipping it over to remove it so that I can kind of hold the blank in place, because this is also like, you're not out of the woods when it comes to breaking this thing. So you kind of need to hold it down to ensure it's not going to jack up, if that makes sense, especially right here where it's a little thinner. If I would have just pulled that, it could have been tragic. But for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, here is the big reveal. Forget the doggone cardboard. Okay, let's go, Rose. Ooh. Okay, Rose. Way to come through for me. Way to come through for me. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now where is the... Okay, y'all, so in the same fashion that we took off the film, you're going to take off the adhesive back, and you're going to find a little end and just start going from there. Again, be very gentle in removing, because you don't want to have done all that work only to break your blank. Yeah. So also, it's not going to be like a super sticky all at once kind of thing. So if you look, I kind of placed it and was still able to move it. It really doesn't start to stick or become kind of permanent until you really apply that pressure. So don't worry, and, you know, be kind of in your head about perfect placement off top. Obviously, try to get it as close to perfect as you can the first time, but you will have a little leeway to make sure you get it just how you want it. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm placing it down, and then once I have everything down, I kind of make those small adjustments. And the parts that are actually perfect, those are the parts that I will start when it comes to pressing and applying pressure. So yeah, right here, this is a little bit of an adjustment. Yeah. And once it's good, then I start applying pressure, because it does, like I'm saying, it's having a little wobbly, so it's a little bit flexible, as you've been seeing. But yeah, then you start to press it down, and you're done. Flipping it over. And this is probably not the best idea, because this is still kind of fragile. But it's